This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, and a pleasant good evening live from the LeGrand Cantina here in the mall. In fact, the old Central Mall, in fact, in the center of town. We want you to be a part of every Tuesday night, which is the Coach's Show. And we have 6 area schools that can join us week to week, and you can join us, of course, online. You can join us in person. We'd love to pack the house right here so we could get a little bit of you having the experience of these teams and your connection to the teams. We've got 6 in the area that will be included each and every week. We'll start off with the 3 Lawton schools with Lawton High, MacArthur, and Eisenhower. Then we've got Elgin and Cache. We've also had Walters as well. Walters needs to take a little bit of the trip, and they'll be here around 6:30. MacArthur is going to be here at 7 o'clock tonight because they have Meet the Highlanders. So trying to get all of this in when everybody's got their festivities when we call this 0 week, and I call it week 1 for us on the Oklahoma Sports Network because out of 12 teams that we cover, 9 of them will be in action. We've got other coaches' shows going on. Newcastle will start at 6:30. Going to talk about the Newcastle Racers. They are now in 5A, up from 4A. And then the Mid-Del Sports Report will be at 6:30, which covers Carl Albert, Del City, and Midwest City. First and foremost, we want you to download our app. It's free, and it's downloadable free, and you can watch our content free, so it's easy to find us on Apple and Android devices just by searching the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're also on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. And then also find us on all the social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, whether you're on Instagram, you're on X, you're on TikTok, or even on YouTube. Follow us there, subscribe there, and you'll be connected. And we are excited to bring you some great matchups. You know, you talk about 0 weeks in the NFL or college, it's always the cupcakes or the preseason. It's kind of a warm-up before you get into it, but we have got some great matchups to start out with. And we're going to have the Elgin Owls up first as our guest, Coach Chalmer Wyatt, and has brought a couple of players, and we'll talk about the Owls with their 0 week opponent coming to Lawton and taking on the MacArthur Highlanders. Now, LeGrand Cantina Restaurant, I noticed that you can order online as well. You can go to legrandcantina.com. Of course, you can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram, and you can come in person. And immediately when you sit down, they got chips and salsa for you right away, and that's how you get greeted and you get seated. So come and join us here for the Coach's Show. We'll be back, of course, after this time out. The Coach's Show each and every Tuesday right here at LeGrand Cantina on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
Memorial Medical Group's orthopedic specialists are the most experienced team in Southwest Oklahoma. Our orthopedic surgeons are trained to diagnose and treat shoulder, knee, hip, hand, and foot conditions, as well as orthopedic trauma, sports, or work-related injuries. And they're the only ones in the area to offer Mako robotic-assisted surgery for knee and hip replacement. When you need bone and joint help, trust MMG Orthopedics to get you back to living your best life.
All right, we're here at LeGrand Cantina inside the mall, where you need to be each and every Tuesday for our Coaches Show. And we've got 6 teams to talk about. We'll talk about the Elgin Owls. They're up first with Coach Chalmer Wyatt. And thanks for coming, and I appreciate your time. And I know you guys are busier than busy. I mean, this is the time of the year, and it always kind of creeps up on us. But before we start talking X's and O's, how was your summer personally? How you and the family, you get to go anywhere? I know coaches have that short little window of, okay, I've got this, I got spring ball, I can disappear for a while and come back. How was your summer?
It was fun. We love summer. We got to spend all the afternoons with Caroline, our daughter.
New addition. Yeah.
Yep, and Elizabeth and I had really good summer. She's growing. She's getting to be a lot of fun, running around everywhere.
So she's on the move now.
She is on the move, yeah.
To put it lightly, right?
Yeah, she can open doors now. So
okay. So you got to put those little safety latches on and things, right?
We need to. Yeah. But it was good. It was good. Got to spend a lot of time with family and stuff, and then mix in our summer weights in the morning. So good mixture, and that's what we love about summer, a little downtime. A little golf, too. So.
Little golf. How is your golf game?
Not good enough.
Okay. I saw you out there for the Lawton, the Athletic Foundation did their little, and the Elgin group brought it there. How did you do that day?
I can't remember. I think we're 12 under.
Okay, but did you, here's what I do with a 4, and that's the only way I golf is a scramble. And the only reason I do is if I can contribute 1 or 2 shots throughout the day, I'm good.
Yep.
They give me a high five to say, hey, nice putt, nice short game like that. Yep. Spring, we talked to you a little bit on the spring ball, and we kind of got into a little bit of your summer. How was that participation-wise? I know the bar of expectation of Elgin, of course, and Bob Stoops, I'm going to use this, is you feed the monster, Okay, you've done this. Now we're expecting this. How was the turnout and as far as your summer was concerned with the kids?
It was really good. We started June, 86 on the roster.
Wow.
And we're right at 86 right now. So That's
a good problem to have.
That's big for us. I'd say on average, a lot of our kids have stuff going on in the summer, doing other things. And we averaged about 75 to 80 every single day. So that was good. And then, kids have stuff going on. We want them to go and compete. There was some summer wrestling we did. There's Coach Hatfield waving at me. And then we got some kids playing baseball. We're a big multi-sport school, so we support that, and those kids can go do that. But they also know that it's a mandatory attendance, and we've kind of set the standard and we've had really good luck with getting kids out throughout June and July.
Chalmer Wyatt for the Elgin Owls joins us first for our Coaches Show, and I want to say that you've had, and we talked a little bit about this in our media day, you had a lot, there's a couple of you class sizes that, okay, at the end of spring you kind of had an indication of what you thought it was all going to be, and then the OSSA had to settle, a dispute, and then it went back, and then lo and behold, after the ADM, and everybody counted and crossed every T and dotted every I. Yeah. You were back in 4A for the first time in a couple of years. So take us through how you took that announcement, and then I know you coaches, they're used to adversity, and okay, now you're going to go with it, and you made it into something. But what kind of other adjustments did you have to make?
It really wasn't adjustments. It was just wanting to know where we're at. It was just so much uncertainty if we're going to be 5A, 4A. The districts were different. So we needed to know. We just needed to know where we're at. And once we found out, because we knew we were close, we had run the numbers a lot. And when we found out we're 4A, and then we had to figure out what districts we were going to be in, and just kind of knowing and then going. So we kind of knew our opponents and could start, looking at our schedule and try to get some film and try to get a game plan for the year, and kind of who we're going to be against and all that. So it was kind of a lot of uncertainty, but once we figured it out, then we could just go to work on it.
Okay, and let's talk about your first scrimmage. You actually hosted, and you got to have that, and unfortunately, 0-week opponents, you only get one. You get so used to having a couple of scrimmages in, and then you're ready to go. What did you come away with that scrimmage? Good, bad, and indifferent. What did you find out about your team?
I told the guys there's glimpses of some really good things on both sides of the ball, but glimpses aren't good enough. We know that. That's our standard. So, and again, two really good opponents in Bethany and Guthrie. Those guys are playoff teams in their districts and classes, and so I thought it was a really good test for us out of the gate. And it gave a lot of we got a ton of reps for some guys that are taking over starting roles, and we got to evaluate them on film. So overall, really good scrimmage. Is kind of right where we needed to be. And we know, and we always know that we have room to improve. So it was perfect for us going into a tough Week 0 game.
Well, your class change really isn't a shock for you because your program was a 4A school. Yeah. You went to 5A. So kind of go, unlike Newcastle, who's been a 4A school, and, they're one of our schools that is going to be on the network. They're going to come up to 5A for the first time, and they don't really know those opponents. That kind of gives you a little bit of an advantage that you know who a Clinton is. You know who some of the 4A opponents are. And, of course, you already have your rival Cash that's already been in 4A, and you already had played them last year, even when they weren't in your class. But, there is the familiarity in 4A. Does that help you?
I think so. We know the teams, but in 2 years a lot can change. Different head coaches, change defenses, this, that, and the other. We just got to kind of go back and do some research. But there's a little familiarity, but we still got to find out who they are and what they do now. But the first thing that jumps out is 4A1's really physical. The district's always been physical ever since I was playing in that district. And then coaching it as an assistant, it's physical. It's loaded, and so we know that. We need to be ready for that. Well,
and then, 5A kind of gave you some of that too, the physicality that you experienced in that level that you can still take with you here at 4A. I'm going to come back to you as our final thing when we lead up to 0 week, and we'll get some of our players here. So grab the mic, number 88, 6'4", and I got you 6'5" on the schedule. Give us your name, your grade, and what position.
Adam Eaton. I'm a senior, and I play tight end.
All right, so a tight end there. Okay, so talk a little bit about this, your senior season. This is a special group of seniors, starting off with your quarterback that, started as a freshman, and we knew that you guys took your lumps in those first couple of years, and, you really gained that experience. So how exciting is it coming into this senior season, knowing what you're up against?
It's very exciting, actually. Half our team's been playing together since Little League, so we have high expectations.
Yeah, that always helps when you have that familiarity with what you guys do. What did you want to do personally to improve on in your game coming in to this season? What did you want to get better at if there was one thing?
Just the little things, being able to do stuff right, like blocking, running sharper reps.
One of the questions that I had, I always ask some of our players, if there is a game on the schedule that you've kind of circled out with some anticipation, if there is one, what would it be and why?
The next game.
The next game. You're going to be a coach someday, right? Because that's coach speak. It's always the next opponent. Okay, and what's your favorite food?
My mom's chicken Alfredo.
All right, can't get anything better. What are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not playing football? Don't say sleep. Fish, all right. Any kind of, like a catfish or bass fish or anything? Salmon? Wow, okay. That's a little different for Oklahoma. That's it. Put that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth. Okay. All right. And then you got 0 week with MacArthur. I'm going to ask Coach this, but this is almost going to be like a playoff atmosphere. I've seen these two matchups. there at Cameron and at your place last year, and when you guys were here 2 years ago, there wasn't an empty seat available. And so I anticipate that. Again, it's good for LPS. They're going to get a wonderful gate out of it. But what does that do with that kind of a crowd in the first week of the season?
We love our fans. You know, they're loud. The atmosphere is crazy, especially on an opening game. And I always credit Coach because everybody had to borrow from it, and they tried to, is the rocks in the milk jugs. And hopefully we'll get to have the shakers back again. Does that kind of, get you pumped up when you hear that? Oh, third down, defense goes crazy. That's it. So everybody take a page from what Elgin is presenting. Okay, our young man down on the end, our senior that's committed to Tennessee. I'm going to pick on you a little bit because, your phone was probably ringing and texting off the hook as far as I can name the whole list of all the people that were talk a little bit about, since most people don't get that experience of that kind of recruitment when people are actually wanting you to look at their school and their availability. How fun was that ride of getting those calls and that treatment?
Yes, sir. Overall, I'd say it's more of a blessing, if anything, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that wish they were in those spots, so not really taking anything for granted. The relationships, building with those coaches, I say it's a big thing too. Learning a lot from them, about their families too. A lot about the program, the different programs I was getting recruited by. But it's a big change going into that recruiting process because I was kind of new to everything. But it was a good experience overall.
And what would you say was your deciding factor that you picked Tennessee over everyone else that was calling?
Overall, I'd say it was the family thing, the student body, everything it just felt right. I had a good relationship with the coaches and everything. I had a good relationship with all the coaches, though. But at the end of the day, not only for myself, but for my family as well, it felt right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How excited are you to get football season started? I got to give you credit. I watched your basketball season, and you're a big frame guy. This was a year ago, and I know you took a lot of trips that you weren't able there, but I was able to see it, and I said, wow. I said, a larger frame person with so much control that you have showed your athleticism. So, it's not just on the football field, but you like to do other things when you're not playing football. What is some of your hobbies?
Really play basketball, hang on my friends.
Yeah.
Play the instrument sometimes. Just chill with my family. That's really it.
No, I know sometimes with size they tell you to take it easy. So are you an intimidator by what you do? Are you a talker, or you kind of present it just by your physicality?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both? Okay, all right. So I want to make sure a little trash talk doesn't hurt at all. Okay, what's your favorite food?
Chicken and rice.
All right.
Rice. But it got to be made by my mom.
That's what I was going to say. Where do you get it? Where do you get the best? It's got to be from mom. Okay, all right. And how excited are you going to be in this 0-week game? I know it's kind of an instant rivalry. It wasn't something that was ever slated. It was like years and years. It was 2 years in the making, and there's a lot of talk about it, about this game. What does this game represent to you?
It means a lot. All the guys have been prepping ever since. So it's a big thing for everybody on the team. I know coming here, I'm kind of new, but knowing what we prep for and what we're ready for going into this game, it's a solid team, but we're ready.
Well, we're ready to watch you and follow you throughout the whole season, and hopefully we can keep this train going. So the Elgin Owls. Okay, and I'm going to ask you, Coach. I said I would kind of close out with you. What did you see about MacArthur when you changed films to get ready for that matchup for 0 week?
They're really impressive. They do a lot of good things. That in itself, they've got some playmakers that can change the score, at any time. And they're, very enthusiastic, play with a high motor. So, we've got to prepare for them. They're a really good team. They're going to be a really good playoff team in that district. And it's going to be a tough matchup. And week 0 right out of the box, come on.
I could say I know. And if you want to take a peek at someone that's got a challenging non-district schedule, I think the Newcastle Racers have probably got number one on that. They took on people that they really shouldn't, now that they're 5A, they still play Blanchard, they still play Tuttle, and they play you guys, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, did you purposefully do that? But I know Coach Jeff Brickman doesn't really shy away from that either. He wants the challenge, and he says, if we're going to be there, we're going to play those games. So yeah, I understand. I kind of made fun of the 0 week games, the cupcake for colleges. There's some games that and I won't embarrass some universities to say, how on earth did you schedule that? But they want to kind of slowly get into it, and you're right out of the gate like, okay, we're going to play someone that's going to kind of challenge us.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
All right. Okay, Coach Chalmer Wyatt for the Elgin Owls here at La Grande Cantina here in the mall, and we thank you for being here and the two players that we brought, and thank you guys for being here as well. Got the Walters Blue Devils in the house, and can't wait to talk to Farron Griffin. We're going to talk a little bit about Walters since they were not able to make our media day. They were at Camp Lashua, and so we're going to talk with them next. We'll do that right after this time out on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Nobody moves more real estate than Pam and Barry's team.
And that's why our clients keep coming back to us.
We had some friends that recommended the Pam and Barry team, and they exceeded all of our expectations.
Our home sold in 3 days. It was a wonderful and easy experience.
And we would love to help you.
So follow the signs of Pam and Barry's team at RE/MAX at 248-8800. We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
All right, so we're back here at La Grande Cantina here inside Central Mall, where you can kind of join us, or the mall. I know they have different names for it now, but, for old school guys like me, you'll kind of know where it's at. But right in the main entranceway, you can come on in, and each and every Tuesday we plan to talk to coaches and players from around the area, all three Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin, and the Walters Blue Devils. And Farron Griffin going to wear the Walters hat once again, and it's kind of a coming home. We talked about the familiarity with Elgin going back to 4A. Well, you have familiarity with the Walters Blue Devils because you were once coach there. So what was it like coming back, and how was that received, and how has your summer been?
Well, it was awesome to be able to come back. I started my head coaching career there. It was my first head coaching job, and had wonderful times there when I was there before. A great community, outstanding administration. I was just chomping at the bits to be able to get back down there when the opportunity came. And, like I said, Jimmy Dedman's a great superintendent, and just the opportunity to go back down there, just great community, great people. They're so accepting and so supportive, and it's like we never left. You go in the grocery store or wherever, and the way they've treated me and my wife and my family, it's like I said, it's like we never left. It's like it's my hometown.
Well, outside of the move, which had to take a little bit of an adjustment, did you and your wife, family, do anything over the summer interesting at all?
No, we had no time for anything. We barely had time to
The move was it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we moved and getting moved in, and, of course, I had to jump right in with both feet and get the football program started so that we could hit the ground running when season got here. So, that was our summer. We sacrificed. My wife sacrificed vacation
Well,
time.
she is the football widow, man. Yeah. She comes everywhere you go. In fact, how many times have I seen either it's an anniversary or something up in the stands and you say, okay, this is where we're at for this, and, I guess there's nowhere else that you'd rather be.
Well, she married a football coach. And it takes a special person to be a football coach's wife. So.
That's true. Well, and I know that because we're shared on social media, you've got a granddaughter that you're really in love with, and there's a lot of pictures with that too. So you got to enjoy a little bit of that during the summer break.
Oh yeah, it's her world. We just live in it. And that's
I always said that about our dog. Our dog always it's just that's their world. So yeah, definitely with that. So let's talk about your participation, how you got things going when it comes to your spring and then summer. What kind of numbers you got, and then what has been response? Because Walters has kind of left you in a good position. You were a playoff team last year. They were the first team on our network as a new addition, Walters Blue Devils. So how has that been with them responding to you as far as a program?
Well, I had to go in there and handle it different than when I took the job the last time. They were 0-30 when I took the job last time, so it was a total rebuild.
Yeah.
This time I had to make the transition slowly because they had success, and I didn't want to just drastically change everything all at once. And the kids have received everything so well and bought in so well. I've just been excited. Thrilled when I got there early. There were 23 kids that were going to play football. Last Friday night when we went to the scrimmage, we suited up 35. So there's a lot of kids that haven't been playing the past couple of years that have come back out, and some of them are some pretty darn good football players. So we're excited to have them back, and it's just been refreshing. Like I said, these kids are hardworking kids. They're very respectful. They've accepted everything that I've asked them to do, and it was successful last Friday night because of that.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your scrimmages. What you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like, how you want to improve. Because coaches are never satisfied. You're always wanting to improve from week to week to get better. So what have you seen so far?
Well, I was really impressed with the way we flew to the football. I think, we took on Apache and Carnegie with our number ones, and I think they had a total of 8 yards combined against our defense, and I think we maybe had 2 solo tackles the whole time, and that's the way I like it. We had a lot of gang tackling and kids swarming to the ball. They were flying around, and the biggest thing I saw was every time I looked around, there was a kid with a smile on their face. They were enjoying that, and that's what you want to see as a coach, and when they're having success. And we scored 4 touchdowns with our number ones, 2 on each of the opponents we faced. So a lot of things that were happening good. Do we have room for improvement? Yes, we've got a long way to go. But I feel like yesterday and today we made some great improvements in practice. So, we're headed in the right direction. We've got a lot of work to do. One of the things that's concerning me a little bit is our passing game. I think we've got to really work on that a little bit more and get better at that. But like I said, these kids, the way they're buying into what we're doing and the way they're working at it, I have no doubt that we're going to be ready when we need to be.
Okay, and you mentioned improvements. So if there is improvements that you're looking for, first and foremost, where do you want to improve the most and the fastest?
Well, like I said, our passing game was one thing that kind of concerned me a little bit the other night, and we've already made some improvements on that in the last couple of days. And again, a lot of that has to do with the familiarity of a new system, and new quarterback that hadn't been in that starting role before, and so there's all kinds of intangibles there, and like I said, that room for improvement's going to happen. But like I said, for the most part, I was really pleased with what I saw last Friday night.
So since you're not a 0-week team, what scrimmages do you have next? Where is that going to be, and who are you going to be up against?
We're at home against Davis on Thursday.
Thursday?
We'll get a real test to see who we are and what we are. Davis is a 2A team and a perennial powerhouse, and they're really good. They're bringing back a lot of starters also, and it's going to be good for us. Every mistake we make, they're going to make it magnified, and it's going to teach us some things that we need to improve on as we head into the season.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that season as well. And so, and maybe I should ask your wife this question. I said, since you're scrimmaging on Thursday, that leaves an open Friday. So where are the Griffins going to find themselves?
Well, ironically, Friday is my birthday.
Yeah, I know. So it's going to be in the stands somewhere, right?
We're gonna spend my birthday in Minco.
Minco, okay, all right. At least now I can beat the Facebook. I'll already know. Happy birthday, Coach. And here we are watching a football game on Friday. Okay. But, I wouldn't want anything else. And, I'll throw myself under the bus. My anniversary is September 2nd, and that's usually the kickoff week for football for both college and everything else. And there was no other schedule. We didn't have a summertime date that we could do, so it wasn't like I planned it, but we went ahead with it, and I've never heard the end of it, that when are we going to celebrate our anniversary? I said, well, we'll fit it in sometime, so I'm sorry, Miss Kay, that we have to do that, but she understands too about how that. And then, my youngest son gets married like on September 3rd, and I said, what were you thinking? As he follows football. So who's the player you have with us? Give us your name, your grade, and what position. Oh, go ahead.
I'm Miles Mosier. I'm a senior, and I play nose guard and running back.
Okay, that's double duty right there. Which one do you prefer better? You like toting the rock, or you like bat? No.
I like nose guard better.
Really?
Yes,
that's
sir.
kind of really a surprising thing. And why did you select that as over the other one?
Well, I just think that on defense you get to be more physical, and I'm a physical guy, so I just like making people hurt.
Are you a wrestler?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because I said usually wrestlers have no problem with physical. I mean, they get right after it and they want to do that. So I just threw that out there. I didn't know the background. How excited, your senior season, you had playoff success. Coach talked about it the last time he came around. He had to build up from the ground up, basically from the ashes. Well, you've given him something to work with, and he's excited about it. So how excited are you starting this season?
Oh, I'm very excited. Our scrimmage, it really got me super excited because I got to see the team play as a team. I got to see us swarm to the ball, and most importantly, I got to see everybody be happy.
And what did you want to come into this season to improve on the most?
I wanted to improve my attitude. I would love to improve my attitude because I think attitude is everything. And if you have a bad attitude, then you're going to play bad.
I didn't ask Coach this, but he usually takes the group out to Camp Lashua. What kind of experience was that, and what did you take away from it?
Oh, it was amazing. I got to spend a whole day with my closest friends. The no phones was really amazing. It really was, truly.
And there was no illegal contraband? Coach didn't find one hiding or sneaking somewhere?
Oh, no.
Okay.
And,
did Coach have one?
Oh, probably, most definitely. Just in case.
So it was only do as I say, not as I do, right?
We don't get service out there, but I do have parents. So how am I going to get a hold of you? Something happens.
No, I understand. I just had to jab you a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, and is there any particular game on the schedule that you found that you really? I know that Coach says it's only the next opponent, but I mean, being truthful, there's something on the calendar. Is there one that excites you the most?
Minko.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's a great opportunity right there. So Walters Blue Devils, you can catch it. The Pennington brothers are going to do a great job of covering the Walters Blue Devils once again. And thank you for taking the trip. A little bit of a drive. So I know that we got dinner over there on the table. So I guess you're taken care of.
Oh yeah.
All right. So the Walters Blue Devils, Coach Farron Griffin, and we are going to take a timeout. We've got Lawton High in the house, so we're going to still talk to Eisenhower and the MacArthur Highlanders, and that's all coming up right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
.4D Landscaping and Irrigation has been providing top-rated professional landscape and irrigation services for the past 25 years. They take your vision for that perfect landscaping project for your home, new construction, or business and make it a reality with their easy financing options. You'll want to make sure to ask them about their seasonal services too. 4D Landscaping and Irrigation. Call 510-9983.
right, LeGrand Cantina. It is where the Coaches Show is every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. We want you to join us live where we've got 6 area schools. Cash had another prior engagement. They will be here next week. They are not a 0-week team, so, they've got still some stuff to prepare for. So they will be getting ready for week number 1, and we'll have that as well. So now it's the Lawton High Wolverines and Coach Lorenzo Williams. We've had a lot of chats, a lot of talk about you introducing yourself to the program. We had our media day, introduced you there. So some of the alum that will get to know you for the first time on Friday night, and what a way to start out with the crosstown rival, which I think you had given credit when I talked to you earlier today about Coach Javon Harris, that you guys made it sure that that game was put back on the slate, because there's so much tradition there. There's people that have scheduled class reunions around it. It's kind of the end of the summer, the first of the fall, and so that's exciting. But I'm going to start off, before we get to Eisenhower and your opponent, we're going to talk a little bit about what you brought to Lawton High has been infectious. It's been contagious. I'm going to compare you with Elgin Owls. Elgin tells us that they've got like 89 out, and, with a 5A school that went to 4A, that's incredible numbers. And the numbers that you have gotten has been very impressive. So tell us how many kids you got out, and I like the story of how you got them out, because you got a little bit of help with the recruiting.
Yeah, this is definitely not just a me thing. Got an opportunity to come in early and be around. Usually when you take a new job, you don't get there till May, so you try to X's and O real quick summer pride, and then it's football. You know what I mean? But I got to come in January, so that kind of really helped me get to know the kids. Develop relationships, mostly with Coach Chevy Smith and Coach Jeff Elbert, because we got a lot of basketball players and a lot of wrestlers on the team now. So. We started off pretty light. I think we started the spring ball out with about 65 kids or whatever. Now we up to, I feel like we get two or three new kids a day. But I am all the way out of helmets, all the way out of shoulder pads, all the way out of practice jerseys, all the way out of belts, mouthpieces, you name it, I don't got it. So we got about 110 kids out right now.
Wow.
Got a full freshman team, got a full JV team. Most of our starters don't play both ways unless you can really move the needle. So. We're doing pretty good.
That's an incredible start to something that you're unfamiliar with. You had a scrimmage. Talk a little bit about what you found from that, what you learned from your team, and how can you grow forward.
Yeah, scrimmage wise, man, I think we did pretty good. I mean, we got to see a lot of guys do a lot of good things. That's kind of one thing I owe Coach Chevy Smith probably a couple of bags of Skittles and some Sprite and Mountain Dew or whatever it is. We got the entire basketball team playing football now, which is great.
And you've coined it something, right? You call this game is what?
Yeah, it's basketball on grass.
Basketball on grass. So if you want to see it, Friday is your first time to see it.
Right.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of those guys got a lot of different bags. They can do a lot of different things, and it's unfortunate we only got one football, because we got to be able to spread it around and give it to a lot of people. But it's been fun. I think scrimmage wise, we did a pretty good job. Like I said, we played really hard. We just played kind of wrong. So that's I think we probably get about a 2 out of 10 of where we can get to if we fix the 6 inches between our ears type thing. We start getting the mental preparation down and all the things mental wise. We got a shot to be pretty good later in the season. I think we're going to get better every time we touch football. I don't think we're going to be very great on Friday. But hopefully by week 10, Friday would be really good. So that's kind of
okay. It's a big difference of who can improve week to week.
Yeah.
And then for Lawton High and the fans that don't know, that was a 6A school. They're going to go back to where they last time, and you're going to hear this history and the folklore. The last time you won a state championship was in 5A, because there was no 6A, and that was 1987. So that goes back a few. So you can talk a little bit about being in 5A. Kind of a different complexity than what you've seen from your experience being a Middale guy, being up in the Moore School District. A lot of the 6A complexity is a little bit more. What have you found out about 5A, especially where you're going to be over in that Carl Albert district? That's where I'll call it, because that's one of our schools that we cover.
Really, it's interesting, because I don't, being in 6A1 for 8 years, you just kind of hear about these guys, And fortunately, me and Coach Brett Manning have been able to build a pretty good relationship over the last few years, because they've been coming to team camp with us. So we see them. We know they can compete at a high level, because they competed with us and everybody else that was there, the Jinxes and the I think Santa Fe and Norman North and everybody who came to that team camp with us. We got to see them every year. So it was always fun to see them. But now it's kind of like they're not the mythical creature anymore. Like we got to go actually play football.
You got to go play them, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I think that 5A. 5A is not one of those classes that gets the down. You know what I mean? A lot of people around the state talk about how great 5A is, how tough the football is. You know, going into places like Carl Albert and Guthrie. You know, obviously, being in Cameron Stadium and going, playing against, the Max and of the world and everybody else. So it's gonna be a different task. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a 6A1 football team, so I got a 5A football team. So we gotta make sure we get. It's gonna be pretty competitive. But I'm excited about it. It's an exciting challenge. You know what I mean? Like, really, I'm just really ready to get to practice tomorrow because today wasn't great. So we gotta get back at it and get to work.
Coach Lorenzo Williams joins us for the Lawton High Wolverines, and I'm going to hold the last question for you about your opponent week 1 or week 0. We're going to talk to some of your players. So who do we have up first? Give us your name, your grade, and the position you're in.
Panay Viceguente. I play receiver and safety, star.
Okay, so now we know that you're back to receiver. I know you got thrown into being a quarterback last year. It's kind of good that, if you're going to get athletes in space and you want to get the ball to your athletes, you're better suited for wide receiver, wouldn't you think?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I
All right.
love receivers. It just comes naturally.
Well, then you also have some of the basketball skills. What do you think about Coach talking about how this is basketball on grass?
It makes it more easier to me. It brings everything together. So it makes me even more better.
I even heard on media day, one of the guys said that even the coaching terminology is put to a basketball method where you can understand it better, and that helps a little bit.
Yes, sir. It helps a lot.
Okay. What did you want to do to come in to improve on this last statement for your career? What did you want to get better at? If there was one thing that you wanted to get better at,
Maintain my mental and to always bring my team together, always have their mental together with me.
What's your favorite food?
I'll say monopool. It's a Samoan dish.
Okay, so what's in the Samoan dish that you just called? What is it?
It's like really soft bread with like pork inside. So
Okay,
it's really good.
And your mom makes it the best, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Has Coach had some yet?
No, I have not. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, he's gonna be schooled in it. Okay. Well, what is some of your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
Play basketball.
Play basketball. It's okay. Hey, we already have one of our big linemen already said that. That he wanted to do that. Who do you emulate your style of football to? If in college, pro, is there one that you really kind of gravitate that you would like to emulate and be a little bit more like?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. All right. What made you connect to him?
He plays both sides of the ball, but he plays corner, but I play safety, so I just want to come downhill a little bit more.
All right. Pass the microphone next to your teammate there. Give us your name and your grade and what position.
Nate Jones. I'm a running back. I'm a senior.
Yeah, senior. So Panay and Jones, I talked to Coach earlier. These are familiar names with those who followed Lawton High. So what did you want to come out with this season to start out with as your senior season? What did you want to improve on to get better and get ready for this season?
Definitely a better leader, but definitely a better rusher. I want to be on the floor just running.
Put that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth. Okay, and then how would you do that? How would you improve on that to get better in those areas?
Read my blocks, working on my cuts, working on my speed, get with my linemen, learning what type of blocks they're going to have.
What has this year been with Coach? And he says, like, they're adding a couple of players each day. It's like, where are they coming from? And he says, out of helmets, out of belts, out of practice pants, out of practice jerseys. What's it like to be in that kind of atmosphere like right now?
No, it's definitely good. We got way more people. The energy's up. We don't have to go both ways as much. So
yeah, that really helps.
We got the numbers. We got the people. We're excited. We're ready to play. Okay,
and then what does this game starting out it's kind of an understatement. Of course, it means everything because it's Lawton High Eisenhower. I mean, it's for bragging rights. It's for the year. I've been told that, as you'll get asked, the one question usually from Lawton High is your senior year, did you beat Eisenhower or not? And so that's pretty lofty things to be able to know. They don't care if you did it your freshman, sophomore year, your senior year. What did that mean, and how do you want to go out? So is this atmosphere? I guess it's almost going to be like a playoff atmosphere. It's going to be packed on both sides. I don't know the answer to this. Who's the home team this year? Eisenhower is. Okay, so you're going to be on the away side.
Yep.
So if you're on the away side, Lawton High fans, get there early because you know the stands are a little bit shorter as far as space is involved. And by the way, I just talked with Coach Gary Dees, and it was confirmed that, they got the new LED lights at Cameron Stadium, and they have been working. And hats off to that crew, because 2 weeks ago they started this project, and when it was 110 degrees, they were up on that pole. There was 3 of them they had to do on the home side, and they got that finished. And at the latter part of last week, they got it started. And the last pole is being finished in the next day or so, because they were on it today, and it should be done and ready for Thursday night, because they've got MacArthur and Elgin, and they'll be ready for Friday. So LED is going to bring a little bit different. Now, you guys got that in your own home stands now, right? Because if you don't understand, they got the new artificial turf, they got bleachers and a press box and the LED lights at all the fields in their home stuff. So that's pretty nice. Yep. So I know that you and I talked a little bit about this. You really don't know the history by going through it, but I'm sure you've been told the history of what this game means. So what does week 0 look like for you against Eisenhower?
Well, I mean, originally we didn't have a week 0 game. Like I said, I told you earlier, Coach Harris reached out to me pretty much immediately when everything broke out and shifted out with 5A. I was dropping down. And, I mean, he didn't tell me the whole story. He just said, hey, man, you want to move our game to week 0. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. He didn't let me know there was a lot of stuff behind that.
Okay.
I think he set me up a little bit.
Well, there is such a thing called payback, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, but really, he did it. I mean, he did the right thing, because, I mean, from all the alumni and people that have reached out to me, and I always give him credit because I didn't know nothing about it. So he
right. They said thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for putting it back. Now we got the class of 2004 coming in doing their reunion this weekend, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff now. So it was. I mean, I told you earlier, it's a big hats off to him for getting that set up for us and doing it the right way. But like I said, I don't know what it's going to feel like. Y'all haven't been in it. You know what I mean? I know it's going to be. It's going to be exciting. I was watching him play on film, for the last couple of days, and. He's got a really good team, so we're gonna have to go out and play our A game. If we not, it's not gonna be great for Lawton High, but we got a shot. You know what I mean? We got to do things the right way. These first games, the week 0 games. Talking to Coach Chalmers back there, how this week 0 game is never enough time in the day to get practice in and everything. So it's gonna come down to who made the fewest mistakes, and hopefully that's not us.
And those big mistakes are always in 0 week, and you hate it as a coach. You know it's coming. You can preach to the kids all day long about turnovers and how the momentum can switch on that. But, whoever makes the least amount of mistakes in that game is going to be a little bit advanced head and shoulders over the other opponents. So, well, we're
you don't want to say the wrong thing, but, it's kind of like whoever sucks less is going to
win. You couldn't put it even more frankly. All right. Coach Lorenzo Williams for the Lawton High Wolverines, we thank you. You're going to be here all year, and we can't wait to follow you with the new fresh look that you've got for the Wolverines, and you can catch them live on Friday night. And that's what's so great about that is we have both channels. We have our home schools will be covering each of our teams all season long, so it's not neutral.
Right? We have an app.
And we have an app. That's right. Thank you. You did. You download that app. And the reason I was telling Coach Lorenzo, or Coach Zoe as they call you, is that there's a lot of people that don't realize that we have an app, and they were trying to go to a website to try to find each and every game. And when you download the app, they're all there. So it's free to download, free to watch on Apple and Android devices, also Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. All right, so we got the Eisenhower Eagles and the MacArthur Highlanders still in the house. And thank you all for coming here tonight. And we'll take a timeout and be back to more at the La Grande Cantina here in the mall on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Miller Noble Heating and Air Conditioning, we offer preventative maintenance agreements, summer tune-ups, and service calls. During the summer, when your air conditioner breaks, you have to give us a call. Well, with preventative maintenance agreements, it prevents that. We go out, service the air conditioners, and prep them so they don't fail on you in the peak time of the year. The U.S. Department of Energy states that you can save up to 30% of your utility bill by having your system properly maintained.
Well, we've taken the back end of the special room here on the back, and I'm sure they could host you for parties, LeGrand Cantina, here in the mall. In fact, we're going to be here each and every Tuesdays at 6 p.m. talking to 6 area schools. Cash had another prior commitment. They will be here next week, but we have all 3 Lawton schools, Cash, Elgin, and Walters. Don't forget, starting, about half hour ago, Newcastle Racers. That is going to be every Tuesdays at Luigi's, and Middell Sports Report. That's going to be 6:30 at Bricktown up in the metro, where you've got Midwest City, Del City, and Carl Albert. So, Javon Harris, the Eisenhower Eagles, and Fly High. It's ready. We're ready. I mean, are you ready for football?
Man, I've been waiting a little too long.
Yeah, well,
we had like an extra week somewhere in here that school
mine
got
starts in
pushed back.
December. I'm just going to tell you where mine. Well, I get the NFL in February, but I mean it's the high school stuff that I get that. So. We're going to talk a little bit about your summer, and before we get into X's and O's and players and what you got coming out, let's talk about you personally. Did you go anywhere for this summer? It's such a short window. Coaches have, okay, I got spring ball over with. Okay, let's jet set somewhere so I can let my hair down a little bit.
So this summer, this was the first summer that I didn't travel. So I stayed home. I went to Dallas when my mom was living down there, and I was helping her move back up here, so she'll be moving up here back to Lawton. So, man, really for me it was just, getting some time to relax. Going on this 3rd year, it's actually, for me, the first school I've been at for 3 years. So just seeing how things are turning over and seeing what we got to do to go and make a full swing and culture swing at Eisenhower this year. So getting a chance to relax this summer. Rest a little bit and really refocus and regroup.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about changes, and I can't tell you, out of the 12 schools we cover, there was more changes between district changes, class changes, and you are one of them. Here you thought you knew what was going to happen in the spring. This is what we have. We're in 5A, and this is our objective, and then all of a sudden, hello, you're into 6A2 now and different opponents. So how did you look at that, and what did you have to do to kind of get your mind wrapped around another class change for you?
I think we already knew we were going to move up. We were kind of right there, projected to move up to 6A. When I first took the job, that was basically what they told me. Hey, you guys probably going to end up bumping into 6A2. Here in the next few
well, you know
years.
why? They built a brand new middle school, and they said whoever wants to come can come. And I said, okay, there's something on the back end of that, because all of those that funnel into middle school, guess what? They're going to go to high school, and so here you go, back to 6A. So yeah,
man, it was a good deal. I mean, I would probably say the craziest part was with 6A2 was the redistricting. So we had a district set, and everybody, set all these games. We did everything we were supposed to do. Then we ended up having to have a whole other meeting coming back.
Oh, wow.
In May. So now we go back and we start making all these new getting schedules again and getting guys back in to see who you're going to play, which has kind of led to us getting the Lawton High game being back first, because when they were 6A2, we were in the same district.
Right.
Then they drop, and that changes it. So and that was one of the deals, that kind of came up with the getting the Eisenhower Lawton High game back to being the first game. When I grew up here, that's all it was.
That was
everybody
a big tradition.
Looked forward to Eisenhower Lawton High. That was going to be the first game every year. Every kid coming up, we knew exactly where we were going on that Friday night. And I'd say it all the time, man, and it's crazy because the atmosphere is what makes that game. Growing up here when you were a kid and you driving up to Cameron Stadium on that Friday and you can't drive down Gore, you can't drive down 38, you got to park it, the little kids on down there and then walk yourself down there to Cameron. So I miss those days.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of getting back to it. It's definitely been a better competitive game the past few years, and we're looking forward to have another competitive game this year.
It's one of the biggest rivalries in the nation. They come in and give you that. I know the military's got a name for it, and they come and make a big deal about it. You had an opportunity last Thursday. We were grateful that we had our football preview during the Carl Albert Invitational, and Carl Albert said they weren't used to doing this at all. They never hosted. They really like it. It's really kind of growing. We had we had 4 representation. We had Carl Albert, we had MacArthur, and we had you guys and Newcastle. So I was kind of bouncing around trying to catch with everybody about what did you come away with that scrimmage, good, bad, or indifferent, what you liked and what you thought you could improve coming off of that scrimmage.
I loved our energy coming out. I think that's one of the things as a coach, when you come out to that first scrimmage, you want to kind of see how do your guys come out comparably to some of these other teams, but also what kind of energy they come out with. Is it going to be a slow day? Are they going to take forever to get going, or are we going to come out firing? And so I was really happy with our energy jumping out the gate, showing up, and that's something that we preach, starting fast. If we can start fast, we can get going. And I think that's something that we were really happy with from the scrimmage. Obviously, you got things you got to clean up on, a lot of discipline things, watching the ball, things like that we know come with the first 2 weeks of football. So just trying to clean up, get more discipline, identifying things. I think that was one of the things that we talked about the most, was making sure that we can identify and communicate. So
I know he wanted back. The one thing I saw was Hurts. He was out for that injury, and it was a nice little flat-out pass from quarterback here. He's going to throw it, and he did the cardinal rule of looking downfield before catching it.
Yes,
I said, well, there you go. That's something you can work on.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is what I tell you not to do, and you won't do it anymore.
Exactly.
That's right. That's
exactly.
right.
So, man,
okay, now we'll talk about we'll talk to our players, a couple of them before we get into the matchup with Lawton High. But one little thing, can you tell your Sooner connection to not compete with high school football by having the OU football game on the game that you're going to be playing on Friday night?
Only thing I can tell them is just let's keep it on Saturday. So
that's right.
I really don't remember the last time OU played on a Friday.
Well, I know that ESPN, I guess, made a deal that OU was going to the SEC and they wanted it, and there was nothing on the schedule on Saturday, and they made it Friday. And I think there's some Big Ten, there's some other schools that are starting to do this Friday night thing. I said, no, please keep that away. My life is busy enough. I want my high school on Friday. I want my college on Saturday, and the NFL can do whatever they want with Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. And eventually we're just going to have football every night of the week. I'm sure if you just keep playing the way it is.
That's it. Yes,
all right, so let's get the mic. First one up. Give us your name, your position, and what grade you're in.
I'm Devion Bailey, class of 2025.
Yep.
Play corner and safety, and I play basically everywhere on offense.
Everywhere. You're what's called a utility player, right? Okay, so coach can plug you in, say, you're going here now, go do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you like that? You being called upon like that?
Yes, sir.
What did you want to come in to improve on to be a better player this year coming into your senior season?
Being more of a leader. We need more leaders and more of a voice to get everybody going, somebody just to bring the energy, and somebody that everybody can come and ride behind.
Now, when you say leader, and there's different kind of leaders, quiet leaders, they lead by example, and then ones that are a little bit more vocal. What would you be?
I'm very vocal.
Very vocal. Okay, all right. So you let them know.
Yes, sir.
Good, bad, or indifferent, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Where do you get the best spaghetti around?
My grandma.
There you go. See, it's always kept in the family. All right. And what do you like to do when you're not playing football? What are some of your hobbies?
I like playing Madden and putting myself in the game, and the plays that we play and plays that we run. I put myself in safety and drop down to cover 3 and read the quarterback.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Read the routes.
Going school. There you go. I've not downloaded the new NCAA. Do you know of anybody that has? Have you played in that yet?
I haven't played NCAA yet because I don't want to get too hooked onto it.
I could be hooked on it. I mean, I could just sit and watch you play it because it's like watching a game. I mean, the graphic stuff that is just tremendous there. Yeah. Okay. And what is this 0-week game mean to you? Not only because you're starting football, but it's against your city rival.
I mean, my grandpa played in this game. My great grandpa played in the game. My father played in this game. It's a game that we got to bring back for the family. Okay, so with all that family tradition there, and they all played in that game, how did the outcomes come in all of those? Do you know who won those games? Yeah, my family won. My grandpas went to Lawton High, they won. My dad went to Eisenhower, he won. Now I got to win. All right, so you put that. Okay, you got your quarterback next to you. Name, grade, and position.
Charlie Trochty, 12th grade. Quarterback.
Couple of years of experience. What's it like to come into the senior season knowing that you don't really have much to prove as far as that position? You got that. So how did you want to improve as a player?
Take care of the ball better and work on footwork and better at reading the defense.
Okay, I'm going to pick on quarterbacks much, and Coach is going to have to close his ears for this. How much of a film studier are you?
I like to watch practice every day.
Do you?
Like to see what I messed up on and fix it
And then how involved are you? I know coaches will put it out like the opponent's film. How much do you check out defenses that when you got this next opponent coming up?
Well, we usually watch it every morning, like as a team together during first hour.
Yeah. What did you want to, this as a statement, you coming out as a senior, how did you want to remember your game this year?
Come away and put our best effort forward and hopefully come away with a win.
What's your favorite food?
Steak.
And where do you get the best steak?
My dad.
Your dad. Okay, I got to ask this because all steak eaters are not alike. How do you like your steak cooked? Medium rare. All right, he's on the list. All right, you're accepted. You're in the wolf pack now. All right, bless my wife's heart. She was raised in a family that sacrificed their meat, and I mean, we're talking about. If that was served on my plate, I'd say that it has somewhere else to go because I'm not touching it. So medium rare is a good thing. Okay, and then what does this game mean? And then how do you cut the distractions out? Okay, this we just talked about reunions. There's going to be a lot of people here extra that isn't here because they're out of town. They've come to that. They're making a lot of noise on both sides. How do you as a quarterback kind of zone that out to know that, okay, I still got a game to play?
Just treat it like any other day. Come out there and just keep on doing what you normally do.
Okay. How has this summer been for you? I looked at it last year. I've not really seen the stair climbing thing a couple years ago when you went up to Cameron and did stairs. Did any kind of crazy conditioning for you this year?
Oh, we still did the stairs thing.
Oh, you still do those?
Yeah,
okay. All right.
Every Monday.
Every Monday?
Yeah.
How many times?
Depends on the week.
And depends on the discipline, right? Okay. And depends on how coach feels it. Does he ever run any of them? Sometimes? Okay. He's got to be a coach that leads by example. See, I've got one of the best coaches. I'm a Lions fan, and I make no apologies to it ever, and especially last year. But Dan Campbell was doing up downs, but he said he's slowly getting away from that. So I don't know how many up downs you got left in you, Coach.
I'm slowly getting up the hill. It's a lot. So I'm slowly working my way up. So.
Okay, so we talked about the tradition. You talked a little bit about, you got a little bit of game film. How do you see this game playing out on Friday night at Cameron?
I think these guys can go out here and take care of business. I think the biggest thing for us, again, is going to be energy coming out and being the best version of ourselves. I think that's what we've talked about is, worry about us first. Do your 1 of 11. You got 11 jobs on the field. Do your one job with those 11 jobs and get the job done. And I think, again, we got a great group of seniors. I know I don't got Rashad and Siri up here today, but those guys are also, along with these two guys, very, very good leaders, not just by talking but by showing. And you can see that, showing up on time management, you can see these guys really coming together as a senior group of brothers that want to win together. So I think, this Friday, I think if we can go out there and put it all together, we'll come out with the outcome we want. But the first thing first is to make sure we do it together and we go out there and we're the most disciplined team.
Okay, and you kind of are a little of a fashion guy, I'll just say that, because you unveiled new helmets and it was under kind of secrecy, and then I said, oh, that's nice, the little white wings and stuff like that. Now, I didn't talk to Coach Lorenzo about this because I already knew about it, but they are going back to, they're actually going to start the red helmets with the white, like the Wolverine, the Wolverine image that the wings or whatever you want to call it, that was in black, and they called it the Black Watch. That's all going to be in white, and that's going to be different for Lawton High. Eisenhower, you got any new helmet, new configuration? What are you going to do this year for this game? And they're all snickering. They know something I don't. What's up with Friday?
We're going to be blued up. We're going to be all
okay.
blue. All right. Blue.
Going to be baby powder blue.
We'll be all the way blue, and we're going to make sure that the stands do the same.
Yeah, and you're the home team.
Yes,
you like a little bit of that room on that side that can give you a little bit of that.
That's it. Yeah, I need just a little bit in the locker room. That's the biggest one. So, we're excited. It's going to be a great game, great atmosphere. Lawton High is a really good team. They got really good athletes, and to me, the basketball success can carry over.
Yeah.
And we got to be mindful of that. So, we're aware of the type of kids that they got and the type of athletes that they have, and, we're going to respect them as well. We're going to respect every opponent, but, on our goal board is to go 1-0. So that's what we're going to go out and try to take care of our first goal.
Okay, Coach Javon Harris of the Eisenhower Eagles, good luck to you on Friday. We've got the game, of course. Remember, if you're an Eisenhower alum, you're going to watch on the Eisenhower channel. If you're a Lawton High guy, you're going to watch at the Lawton High Wolverines. That's how we do it here with the 12 schools on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The MacArthur Highlanders just got finished up with Meet the Highlanders, a tradition that started way back with Coach Manning, Coach Father Manning's in 1993, and so they just got finished with that, and they're going to come out and talk about the Elgin Owls and their 0-week opponent. We'll do that right after this time out on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Lawton Community Health Center is a place for babies, kids like me, and even teenagers. Nice people are there to help you when you're hurt or you just don't feel good. And even if you do, they give you medicine so you don't get sick and physicals so you can play sports. I'm happy to know they'll be there when I need them. And my mom is too.
LCHC, your hometown healthcare.
Well, the train keeps rolling on here at La Grande Cantina here in the mall. It's our Tuesday setup, so if you missed it tonight, you have plenty of time to come any other time of the week. And then Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock, mark it on your calendars. So we've got 6 schools that will bounce around and talk about football and their programs. Excited about when you start off new because everybody's 0-0. Everybody's got everything to prove. And the MacArthur Highlanders, our last team to talk about tonight. And you had to meet the Highlanders tonight. As I mentioned, you gave me a little schooling about it that was since 1993 that your dad set up, and then you've had it ever since. And you had it outside because you and I joked. I'm old school enough to know when Meet the Highlanders, and these guys don't know it, it was in the cafeteria, and it was in a small area, and it was hot, and they said, well, air conditioners are never working, and this, and so it was always that. But it's nice to have it outside.
It's nice to have it outside. It's still hot, but at least you have a little bit of wind.
Yeah, a little bit outside. Yeah. So tell us what all is the Meet the Highlanders. I guess they come running out and they get introduced. What all is in that?
We've got our drum line there and our pride line and Highlanderettes and cheerleaders, and I introduce all of the coaches, the trainers and filmers, and then start my way up from the freshmen all the way up to seniors, and all the parents, fans come out. It's a pretty cool deal.
So how was your summer as far as your involvement, your kids coming out? There was some excitement that, you had a good that playoff game. There was glimpses that, you kind of grew up as a team, and that Guthrie, you almost kind of hated to say, man, I hate that this is the last game of the season because there was so much that you could, ride on with going forward.
Right, and we knew that was a really tough draw going to Guthrie. They hadn't allowed very many points at all year long, and we thought we had a way to maybe pull out a win. We were going to have to win over the top, and
you did get them that once.
We did. We got them several times.
Yeah.
We scored 3 touchdowns against them, and that was more than anybody all year except for Carl Albert. So we felt good about it. We just made a few mistakes, and they capitalized, and they were able to score a few times on our defense, and we just couldn't hang in there and pull the big upset. But it was you know, it was encouraging the way we played them, and you know, played them as tough, like I said, as tough as anybody except for Carl Albert up to that point.
Summer Pride, how did that look for you for this year?
It was really good. You know, we're really blessed right now with a group that they go to work. You know, they work hard. They have a great attitude. You know, attendance was really good. It's, you know, I know a lot of people, and I've probably said this in the past, that it was our best ever. But these guys really were. They, you know, they show up, they work, they get after it, they motivate each other, and they're a really fun group to coach.
So you were also in this last round robin of we had the great privilege of watching that. It was the Carl Albert Invitational last Thursday. Eisenhower was there in Newcastle. Carl Albert was host. You went up against the round robin, and then you also got some time, you know, as far as you know, the 12 minutes, you know, consecutively. What did you come away with looking at that film of what you saw for MacArthur for this year?
It's a really good scrimmage, and you know, I appreciate Coach Dunn and Carl Albert for putting it on every year. And you know, we get a lot of good reps and a lot of good looks. You know, go against a lot of different teams, different styles of offenses, defenses, and you know, I thought our kids, you know, played hard. You know, it's the first scrimmage, and there's a lot of mistakes and a lot of things we've got to correct if we want to be a great team. But you know, it was a good start. I'm not disappointed with where we're at up to this point, even though we still have a lot of work to do.
Okay, well, I'll save the matchup last, you know, as far as the Elgin Owls for your 0-week opponent. Get to our players. Whoever wants to grab the mic first, you give us your name, your grade, and what position you play.
Matthew Steele, senior, middle linebacker.
All right, middle linebacker. That's kind of clogging up the middle. You know, you got all that responsibility there. You know, are you one of the ones that are taking the direct call and then telling out the rest of the defense?
Yes, sir.
So
I take the play call.
Yep. So you are the general on the field defensively there. So how do you take that responsibility? You like that?
Oh, yeah. It's not that bad. Pretty easy to learn after the first year or two.
And then you get everybody in place, and then, you know, if knuckleheads don't do it, then you kind of put them right back in their spot, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach Reffett will make sure you do that. So, okay. How is it starting your senior season? How excited are you to get this thing started?
I'm pretty excited. We all been putting in a lot of work during the off season, so excited to show it off.
And how did you want to improve coming into this year?
A lot of trying to put on some size, a little undersized, but I've been working on it.
Yeah, it's kind of slow. I wished I didn't have to work so much on my weight. Coach has done a phenomenal job. He's almost lost half a person, it seems like, you know. Not that we're, you know, I could lose like 2 people in mine. But what's your favorite food?
Got to go with some chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. Where's the best place to get it?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. All right. And what do you like to do when you're not playing football? Some hobbies?
Me and my friends play the game. You know, you were talking about NCAA.
Oh, do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And what's that like, man?
Oh, it's a big thing. We all play each other all the time.
Who's the best?
I don't know.
Oh, at least you didn't say you. A lot of trash talk comes in. What team do you like to usually select when it comes to picking a team?
My go-to is Oklahoma State.
Really? And why so?
Just been a fan since I was a kid.
Okay, so you go with the home favorite there for you. Okay, and what does this first game mean to you playing against Elgin at home at Cameron?
I think it's a good opportunity to get our games rolling. I think it could give us a lot of momentum.
Okay, all right, and you got a gentleman that's next to you that's kind of you've been kind of wearing different hats, you know. It's kind of wherever coach puts you, and now you're back at center again. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how much, and I know your dad's got some experience, how much do you get coached on the field and then coached at home?
Of course, I got a great O-line coach, Coach Fialoa. He's hard on us, but he knows his stuff, and he works us good. But every night after a game, we'll sit there till like 1 a.m. watching the game over again.
So it's a coach without having the coach. That's great. Okay, that's okay. And your dad loves it and loves being a part of that. So what is your favorite food?
Probably my dad's chicken stir fry.
Really? So he's a master at it, huh?
Yeah, he can cook.
Okay, all right. And what do you like to do when you're not on the football field? Some of your hobbies?
Playing the game pretty much, or working out.
Now, I've not asked this all night for anybody, but I occasionally will ask this. What does it mean for you to be a Highlander?
I think being a Highlander, it's having the pride of everyone else who's wore this jersey, carrying it with you through the way you live life. It's a good feeling.
Now, I'm not going to overhype it. I don't need to. But, this 0 week game is what I've talked to Coach about, a playoff atmosphere. And I can only say that because 2 years ago, I remember when Elgin came to Cameron and there was no room on the visitor side at all. I mean, they brought the town. And I expect that to be the same. And then we need to do the same as far as a community to come on the Lawton side on a Thursday night. How does that play into your game? Is that really amp you up with that kind of crowd, or do you kind of put that off and you don't really pay attention to it as much?
I mean, of course, a big crowd, you're going to hear it, and communication, you got to be a little bit louder. But it is something we just have to keep out of our heads and do our own thing, keep working.
Now, Mr. Steele, he's talked about he's the field general defensively. You're kind of in that way as center because you're quarterback, but then you've got to tell the rest of your linemen blocking strategies and stuff like that. So how do you keep tabs on that to make sure everybody's where they need to be?
Well, I gotta watch out for the fronts and everything, but we get to watch film from the game on the iPad. So that way, we can make adjustments mid-game.
Yeah, that's really a great technology that didn't exist 10, 15 years ago. And what does this 0 week game mean for you playing against the Elgin Owls?
Elgin, we lost them the last 2 years, and we don't want to lose again. Potentially not playing them, it sucked for us, and we wanted this game.
I noticed that, Coach. I talked about that, with the scheduling and stuff like that, and, there's an opportunity that you wouldn't have to play them. Elgin scheduled cash when they didn't have to, when they were in the district, and now they're back in the district, and the same thing, didn't have to, but did, and I think it will benefit both programs, but I'm ready for it. It's going to be – I think it's the best way to kick off football. I mean, with Thursday and Friday games at Cameron, with MacArthur and Elgin, and then Lawton High Eisenhower, there's no other place you should be in Lawton than those 2 days at Cameron.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coach, we're going to talk a little bit about that to leave off with what you've seen about Elgin. They had a scrimmage hosted last week. You both only get one because you're a 0 week opponent, so it's not like you got a lot of film. You got to go back to last year, but then there's a lot of seniors that aren't on the team anymore from them and from you. So, how do you describe this matchup coming up on Thursday?
Well, they're a really good team. They're a confident team. They're a group that's won a lot of games in the last couple of years, and they're well coached. Got a really good coaching staff, and it's one of those things where we're going to go out there and see how we match up. And I think it's almost a win-win situation for us. We're win or lose, we're playing a really tough opponent, a really confident opponent, an opponent that's going to have a great year, especially now that they're in 4A. And I just think it's a great opportunity for us to go out and gauge where we are as a team, and we're just really excited about it.
Yeah, and I'll borrow what your dad always said. He never worried about those 3 games, outside of worrying about yourself because you're either going to get better. And at that time, he was having to play Lawton High and Eisenhower that were both 6A schools at that time, and so didn't shy away from it. And I remember going 0-3 in that district and making a district championship or a playoff run because, that those 3 games really don't count when it comes to the district. But it is a win in that situation, that a lot of experience.
It's a win, and there is a lot of pride involved with with all 3 of our games here at the beginning. Anyway, we're Elgin's just down the road.
Right.
Eisenhower and Lawton High are city rivals. We're throwing in a Ponca City this year.
We're going to take a little road trip. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate that.
Yeah, kind of strange, but these first 3 games for sure. We want to be competitive every time we step on the field. We want to win. But the most important thing is that we're a good team come district time, because that's what gets you to your ultimate goals of district championship, playoff run, state championship.
Okay, so we're going to look forward to that and following the MacArthur Highlanders all season long with all of our schools. We want to thank all of them, and we'll kind of come wrap things up. The MacArthur Highlanders in action Thursday against the Elgin Owls at the Cameron Stadium, and we will be there. We want you to join us as well. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, one last time, and the owner and host of this this whole thing all season long, Mooney from the cantina here and La Grande Cantina in the mall, and we are so thankful that you've done this, that you've opened up your business on a Tuesday night, and you guys are kind of new, so we're new to you. You're new to the area. You and I were talking a year and a half ago, so it was last February, a year ago, that you started. What's it been like to be in Lawton and serving the community, and what you have to offer?
You know, it has been rough times, so of course the old business for sure is just the hardest one, but you know, we're thankful for to the community that it's keep us in, you know, they're still supporting us, and we're thankful for that, you know. Thank you for choosing us to host your show, your football, with football season starting. So
yeah, we're excited. How would you best describe if never anybody has come here before and you want them to know about what you offer, how would you best describe this place?
Try the difference.
There you go.
Be a venture and try the difference, because we're not here to compete in anyone. We are here to compete ourselves and beat our goals.
I got you.
We're not here to copy someone else's food. We came with that intention to serve our food, and if the community accepts it, which is they doing it really well, I do appreciate for that. So that we were focused on serving our food, and I was
you know, the chips immediately get here when you get on the table. I love that. And then the food, you know, I was saying, well, what do you recommend? And you were telling me stuff. I said, wow. I said, I got to try that. I got to try this, because I've never heard of that. So you do have something in the menu that's, you know, there's traditional Mexican, and then, you know, what used to be called Tex-Mex, you would say modern or
modern.
Correct. Yes. So you got the modern menu and you got the best of both worlds, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yes. One of a staple, let's put it this way, the staple dish that we have here is the molcajete.
Okay, and what's all in that?
It's basically a stone bowl.
Yes.
Heat up with, you know, we put all the proteins in. Chicken, steak, chorizo, carnita, shrimp. We put out cheese and cactus with a special sauce on the bottom. So, yeah, that's one of our favorites, and is the most popular now.
And you told me, you know, it's a lot of food, and you said that, you know, I said, well, I don't know if I could eat all that. I said, well, you can take it home and have it for lunch tomorrow.
Exactly. Yes, you know, most of the people that they order by themselves, that's
and you say that, you know, sometimes they have people join it, like, you know, 2 people are diving into that.
Correct.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
Yes.
So, and then great desserts. And you have fried ice cream, by the way.
We do.
And you can't even find that ever anywhere. It used to be a Chi-Chi's thing, and Chi-Chi's went out of this town long ago, and that was the only place I could ever find fried ice cream. But if you want a place to get fried ice cream, this is the place to get it.
This is the place. And, you know, also the sopapillas is another great dessert.
I saw that. You have a little thing on the plate there with all that syrup and ice cream on it.
Honey, yes.
Oh, that's good. Honey on there?
Yeah,
that's good.
It's good. Yes.
Well, I know what I'm doing here at the close of this, so if you didn't make it tonight, you still can come tomorrow. Of course, we're open up, and then each and every Tuesday for the Coaches Show. But thank you so much for being our host, and we'll be talking to you as things come up about what you can, and tell us a little bit about your cuisine. But we're anxious to try everything on the menu by the time the season's over. How about we do that?
Yeah. You're more than welcome.
Okay.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Okay, you've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network. Don't forget, 9 games in action of the 12 teams Thursday and Friday, and you can find us on the app. Download us on Apple and Android. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. For everybody that's come, and I appreciate all the teams and the representation. Cash will be here next week to make it a final 6. And you've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll see you this weekend.